La 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 la. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Siobhan's SparkUp Kitchen, where I am coming to you live today for the holidays. That's right, December lives. December lives are back. Woohoo! For the month of December. Boy, that music is a little loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I will share some top secret behind the scenes before I got here. So I had an inspiration about 10 minutes before I got on to bring down our little tree that's normally in my office. So I brought it down, and right away, what's the first thing that happened? We're going to laugh about this. So this is going to be our 5-minute laughter yoga. As you know, we are going live daily, 5 minutes of laughter yoga a day to bring you more oxygen into your body, to help you feel more energized during this, what can sometimes be a draining season. I know. And if we can get through this together with a little bit of laughter, then my job is done. And before we get into the bruschetta and the cooking, I'm going to tell you about this tree. Can we do a little bit of pointing laughter? No, I don't know if you have a tree to point at. Maybe you're going to point at me. And remembering, of course, that laughter yoga is based on the premise that our fake laughing turns into real laughing. And not only that, our fake laughing also still generates all those feel-good chemicals. So we're talking about that tree. Yeah, this tree right here. So I brought this tree down from my upstairs, and it's got these removable little peg stands. So I brought it down. I'm carrying it from the top, and of course, right away the stands, the little foot pegs fall off. So I right away know I can't stand it up without getting these foot pegs. So I'm walking. I'm walking, carrying up the little pegs. I get the pegs and I set it up, and then look what happens. Can we laugh about ornaments falling on the ground? Okay, this is ornament laughter. Oh my God, ornaments. Well, they started falling all over the place as well. And then the whole tree. Because, you know, I could have gotten really upset about this. I could have gotten really upset. I could have gotten frustrated. I could have thrown the tree across the room saying, I'm not going to bring in my tree for the December lives today. Instead, I laughed as the tree fell over and the ornaments. Poor ornaments fell off, and all I could do was laugh. So I laughed, and I got the tree back up, and then I thought, I'm not going to rehang those ornaments, because you know why? Let's do shrugging laughter. I don't know why. I don't know. Oh my goodness, no, I didn't put the ornaments back on the tree because I knew they're going to fall off again when I take it back upstairs. So that's it for laughter yoga. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now let's really get down to the business of why I am here today. We are making chickpea bruschetta with parsley pesto. Has anyone ever made their own pesto? Have you ever made it with parsley? I'll have to say, I've not made pesto with parsley. So we are going to make our pesto parsley first, because that goes in the food processor. We're going to get that done, and then we're going to go on and make our chickpea bruschetta that is going to go on. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Look at this bread. Now the options for bread are a lot with this. You can use ciabatta bread, you could use focaccia bread, you could use a baguette, and also you can heat this up in many different ways. You can bake it in the oven, you can cut it and toast it. You can, which I'm going to do, is lightly pan fry it on either side to get a really nice flavor. And you could also even warm it up on the barbecue, slice it up and toast those pieces of bread on the barbecue to get a nice smoky flavor. However, I can't do that and do this at the same time. I am going to pan fry in a little bit of olive oil to get my toasty bread, and then we're going to rub garlic on the bread before we put the bruschetta on there. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Aren't you excited? I am excited. So we're going to get started. I'm going to get the noisy part over first. So the recipe that I'm using calls for 4 ounces of parsley. I didn't really know what 4 ounces of parsley was going to look like. So I bought 2 heads of parsley, 2 bunches of parsley, got home. They're only 2 ounces. So we're using half the parsley, but that's okay. We're not going to use all of that parsley pesto anyway in our bruschetta. No siree, because I can take the rest of that pesto and I can freeze it into ice cubes where I just need a little bit for something or other, or again when I make this. So again, pesto really easy. Parsley is going into the food processor right here. Parsley in the food processor, and again, we're just going to get this over and done with. And we're also using garlic. Again, I'm going to use 2 cloves of garlic. In fact, I'm going to chop it up just a little bit finer here, because all of this is really going into the food processor at the same time. So we're going to chop that up real quickly right here. My 2 cloves of garlic here. Now, the normal recipe calls for, of course, 5 cloves of garlic, but you would also be using twice as much parsley. So I've got my parsley and my garlic in there. And all I'm going to do is pulse it up, and then I'm going to add my olive oil to it. Okay. And we're going to garlic, and we're going to put our chili flakes in there too. So this recipe also calls for about a teaspoon of chili flakes. So I'm going to put that in there as well. Give it a little bit of spice, give it a little bit of heat. All right. And we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. We're going to put this on. Now, of course, this is where you're going to have to entertain yourselves for just a minute while I do this. So let's do it. Wasn't so bad with it. So we've got our parsley going, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add our oil. We're going to add our oil, and I'm just going to do it right from here. I'm going to add the oil in. And again, let's food process up so we don't have to keep having this noise. All right, I think this is going to be fantabulous. Just grabbing my spatula here, so. All right. Woo, mama. Look at this fresh, look at that fresh pesto. That's pretty fresh and pretty garlicky. That's good. We're going to keep it simple. I'm going to throw in a little salt. Give it a little salt. And that's our pesto. I'm even going to keep it in there for now because we're going to get onto our bruschetta. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our chickpeas. I've got them canned and drained already. So there are our chickpeas. And what we're adding to this is our baguette, our pesto, or if you just don't have pesto, parsley pesto, or you don't want to make the parsley pesto, you can throw in the parsley. Thank you for watching, by the way. If you're tuning in the first time, my name is Siobhan, and I'm coming to you from beautiful British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, where today it's been sunny, a little overcast. We just came out of a big rainstorm and a rain and windstorm, and now here we find ourselves here on a beautiful Saturday. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to mash up our chickpeas. Now, this recipe calls for just smashing it. We can also use, my friends, a potato masher. So I'm going to try with a potato masher. That's what happened with the potato masher. I'm going to go back to plan one, which is pork. Now, some would say I could have used a food processor for this. And you know what? And I would say, yeah, you're right. But you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to use my inversion blender. Now, my goal is not to get puree here. My goal is to just get it, to have a little chunk in it. And my pork is not really smashing that well, and I'm running out of electrical cords. Okay, I don't think I need my food processor right now. Unplugging that, and I'm plugging this in. So thank you for joining me today. If you're joining me on Facebook, in my Siobhan SparkUp community, or on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't see you right now, but I have you with me. So we're going to do this. Woo! Now, I'm not going to smush it too much. Like that might even be enough smashing to get it started. Because again, if you've had bruschetta before, and it's usually made with tomatoes, we're doing chickpeas. This has sun-dried tomatoes in it. Okay, here we go. This is a little interesting. All right, let's just say bye to that now, right? Okay, there we go. That says goodbye. So we've got our, I'm going to see if I can smush them up just a little bit more here. So I have some news, everybody. Get ready, hold on to your hats. My husband and I have found a place to live. Yes, sir, we did. It's our own Christmas miracle. We have found a place. If you know, we've been in the housing market in BC, and it has been absolutely crazy. Like this is crazy. So if you're posting, I can't see them, unfortunately. There is a note that has come up where it says I cannot see some posts. So, and I know I'm going through StreamYard, and sometimes StreamYard, you need to grant StreamYard permission to use your name. So if that's the case, if you're one of my newer viewers and you haven't done that, perhaps you need to do that. And perhaps I should have left a link for you to do that, and I didn't. So I've got my smushed chickpeas. Those are as smushed as I want them to be. And now I'm going to cut up my sun-dried tomatoes. So the recipe calls for about 5 sun-dried tomatoes in oil. I do like sun-dried tomatoes in oil, and I also like them in water. So if you are a person who maybe is not a big fan of things in oil, you can buy sun-dried tomatoes that are dry, and then put them in some hot water when you're ready to use them. Makes them more flexible, gives them a little bit more of a, gives them a little bit more softness, if you will, because some of those sun-dried tomatoes can be pretty dry. So adding a little bit of hot water to your sun-dried tomatoes before you use them makes them easy to cut. All right, my friends, I used about 5 sun-dried tomatoes here. So I'm throwing my sun-dried tomatoes right in here. And again, not chopping too finely, because you don't want it to be too fine, because again, bruschetta is chewy. So there we go, and I'm going to add now my olive oil. Olive oil is going in here. Here we go, adding some olive oil. Again, just enough to go around here. And of course, the pesto. So the recipe actually calls for 2 tablespoons of parsley leaves. So I'm going to take this out, and we almost got about that much. I'm going to throw in, you know, I'm not a big one for measuring. I'm going to throw in about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more of my pesto, and some salt and pepper, lemon juice as well. I've got my lemon juice right here. Again, it calls for a tablespoon. I'm just sort of squeezing in. There we go. And my salt and pepper. And again, if you are commenting, I feel so bad, because I really, you know, part of my December lives is, of course, the back and forth in the community that fosters. But when I don't see your comments, hello, Maze, I've got a cat underfoot. Oh, my lighting is a little wonky because it keeps going in and out. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh my goodness, look at this bruschetta. And it's like the holiday colors, because there's pesto in here, They're sun-dried tomatoes, so it really is. Look at that. Yum. Of course, I'm saving the best for last, which is the bread. Now I'm going to taste this. I'm going to do a little bit of a taste here. Take it off the. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. Okay. Check this out. I think this is going to be a lot better. Simple, clean ingredients. Now, my friends, this bread I got, I'm going to do a little bit of selfless promotion. No, I did not make this bread. This bread came from Fresh Street Market where I work part-time, talking to people about food. I love it. Absolutely love being back in the grocery business again. And you know, a few years ago, if you had told me I would ever go back into the grocery business, into the retail business, I would have said, you are crazy. And now I am back into it. I willingly took myself to a grocery store. And it's in my community, and I love it. I love the people. I love the customers. It's been great. And it's really helped me take what I preach into the world. And I'm not going to lie, you know, the work is in the focus. And I always ask myself, how do I want to present myself into the world today? How do I want to present myself to the people who come across my life? And how can I make somebody's day a little bit more special? And, you know, honestly, especially this time of year, helping people find their groceries, helping people with their groceries, even ringing through their groceries. I love to talk to people about what they're doing with their food. What are you doing with that? What recipe do you have? Honestly, it's a match made in heaven. So we're going to take this rosemary Asiago, I believe. This is roasted garlic rosemary ciabatta bread. And we're going to cut it into some nice, you know, rather thinner slices. If you know what like that's pretty thin, but that's gonna cook up really nice. And of course, ciabatta bread is great because of the holes, right? Because the flavor gets right in there. And because I'm just home alone right now, I'm just gonna cook up 3 of those. And we are doing it in the cast iron pan. And again, you can do this in the oven. You could toast these in the oven, and you can do it on the barbecue. I'm gonna put it in my fry pan here with just a smidge of olive oil to toast it up like that. I have to tell you, mental health matters. I use the hashtag all the time, and it matters in my life. I have people in my life who have mental health issues. I have mental health issues. I bet you know someone who has mental health issues, and it's how we talk about it in the world, how we hide it or how we express it. And last year I was talking about mental health. This year I talked about mental health. 2017 I talked about mental health. You know when I didn't talk about mental health? 2016. When I really needed to talk about mental health, I didn't talk about mental health in 2016. And I learned huge lessons from not sharing my journey with anybody, keeping my emotions inside, keeping my struggles inside, worrying about what other people thought of me, worrying about, if coworkers found out I was feeling this way, if people realized that I wasn't on top of everything. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Well, I'll tell you what happens when you keep that all buried inside. You get sick. And whether it's physically sick or emotionally sick, you get sick when you keep that stuff inside. So if you know me now, you know I talk about mental health all the time. And in fact, if I'm struggling with mental health and I don't want to go somewhere, I don't even lie anymore. Before it would be, oh, I don't want to drive. Yeah, this is my phone. No, I can't drive there. Or no, I have a headache. Or I was late. Now it's, you know what? I'm struggling with my mental health right now, feeling very anxious. And I'm not comfortable going, and I'm going to stay home and take care of myself. You know what happens when you do that? You empower other people to look after themselves and to talk about it. Talking about mental health issues, again, gets you out of isolation. Okay, look at this. So I am heating this up, and I'm waiting for it to get nice and hot. And who am I kidding? I might even take a little bit of well, we'll start with this because we're going to have the bruschetta on top. And of course, the reason why I did the bruschetta first, of course, is to allow the flavors to meld just a little bit, because right now they're festering. Festering? I don't know if you really want to call herbs and spices festering, but they are. Okay, I think this is nice and hot now. So I'm just putting in the bread here. If you see me, I'm putting the bread into the fry pan again to toast it up a little bit. I'm going to grab a plate because I'm certainly going to want a plate here. Oh yeah. And you know, the weight has been lifted off my husband and I's shoulders now that we've found a home. There's nothing. Looking for a home around Christmas time? When holidays can for some be already stressful. And yeah, so it was a rough little bit there for a while, but everything turns out as it should. So once these are toasted, we're going to rub garlic on them, and then we're putting our bruschetta on them. How exciting is that? Okay, I'm turning this over now. And I have this on high heat because the pan needs to stay nice and hot for the toasting. What are we doing tomorrow? So tomorrow I'm coming to you live again. It's going to be Siobhan's SparkUp Crafting. And if you know me, I am not a crafter. Oh, no, I'm not. However, the dollar store crafts, I have them upstairs. I don't know what it is tomorrow. But tomorrow at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11 a.m., that's right, I am coming live to you again from in front of the fireplace, where we talk all things about all things. And, oh yeah, this bread is looking really, really good. Have I mentioned how much I love ciabatta bread? Interesting fact, my body used to react to gluten like something crazy, and it still does a little bit. But I can take gluten in very small portions, and it is because since I turned vegetarian 2 years ago, that I've been able to eat gluten. Before that, I wasn't able to eat gluten for years. So it's amazing the food combination sometimes. I don't know what that particular food combination might have been, but there was a food combination there. All right. Okay, we're going to take this off the heat now. It toasted up rather nicely. Oh, on the ground, 5-second rule. It's at my house. Okay, so I have in my hands 3 lovely toasted pieces of bread. The recipe says, and I'll post the recipe, to rub with garlic. So I've got some fresh garlic here. Easier said than done. Not quite sure how you really rub garlic. I've got it cut, and I'm just kind of, rubbing it. You can see here, it smells wonderful. Rubbing the garlic on the bread. Again, giving it that garlic. Oh yeah. Okay, you've rubbed the garlic. Now, bruschetta, chickpea bruschetta, right here. I'm gonna put it on each piece of bread here. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, the smell alone. All right, I'm putting these on 3 because this is my lunch. Because it smells so good. Look how festive that is. So good. All right. Look at that. Let's take a bite. Let's see how it tastes. So good. Not terribly garlicky. The fresh flavors, I'm telling you. The fresh basil, fresh garlic, not basil, you could use basil. The fresh parsley, the fresh garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes. This is a fresh and healthy appetizer, lunch. And pan frying the bread like I did. brought out a really nice crispiness to the bread and a flavor. You know, when you heat something in a pan, All right. So good. So I'll post the recipe below in the comments. Again, I am so sorry if you are not seeing, if you're commenting. I'm going to go back and review. I'm going to figure out why no one can see my posts. The cat's going crazy. And I'll fix that for tomorrow and our live tomorrow in the Siobhan SparkUp Crafting. In the meantime, that's it for me. If you're out shopping, if you're in this holiday, crazy holiday land that we find ourselves in every December, remember to find something to laugh about. Whether it's traffic, whether it's a long lineup, whether you're just in line at the grocery store, find something to laugh about. Okay, everybody, this is Siobhan from Siobhan's SparkUp Kitchen Holiday Edition. Seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll fix that chat thing again. If you're watching and commenting, I'll catch up to you. Okay, bye-bye.